What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to podcast episode 3. This time I'm keeping track of the episodes. Needed to check, but it's episode 3. With me, as always, Julian. Actually, how are you doing? It's been a month, actually.
No. We do this once a month now. So, what's up, man? I am toasted. My skin doesn't do well in heat and in the sun if I don't put lotion on. So I'm crispy like a lobster right now. Fair skin. You know, Italians, they usually just don't need that. The Northern Italians do, let me tell you.
It's hot. Is it hot?
Where I am, absolutely. It's like 32 degrees every day. Sun.
Oh,
yeah.
That's mad.
Yeah.
I think
it's not.
We have had like 30, maybe a handful of times the last 3-4 months. Like,
wow.
Actually today it's 30. Then the next 2 days will be 30, and then it will dip again to 22, 23.
Wow, yeah, we're in Southern Ontario. I don't know how many people listen in Southern Ontario. That's where I am. It's 28. That's like the lowest temperature right now.
Damn, that's
yeah, and that's been like that for the past maybe 4 or 5 weeks.
Oh,
like continuous. Yeah,
that's
not good for my skin. I'll tell you that.
I like 22 is like perfect for me. I like over
22
here.
is nice. Yeah.
Over here, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're on vacation at the sea, then okay.
Yeah.
But over here, once I hit 30, it's done. You don't want to go outside.
Yeah, it's a struggle.
It
but
is.
My wife and my baby love it, and they went to the splash pad today already, and they enjoy it. Even though she has fair skin, my kid, my wife doesn't. She's Southern Italian heritage or whatever roots. So she doesn't need to put the suntan lotion on and care.
I saw the baby.
Lucky her.
I saw the baby won something, so maybe that's...
Yeah. That's already a champion. What do you want me to tell you? I breed champions.
Damn it. Maybe that's a sign for what is to come or absolutely is not to come. That's basically the title of the show. Are you ready or not? Before we get into it, people, this is recorded on Monday, and I'm dropping it a couple of days later, but... We'll talk about all the links, potential thing, like everything that's going on around now. So we'll be up to date, basically. It's just catching up, talking about what happened, what is happening this week. We play a friendly on Saturday against Stade Brest, who also play in the Champions League. So it's a good test, actually. But yeah, ready or not, here we come, basically. I don't think anyone...
You said that right. Ready or not, here we come.
Yeah,
because season's approaching. As a recording, I saw your video today. It's literally 3 weeks away.
Yeah.
Like kickoff is 3 weeks away, and we do not have a starting attacking midfielder. We do not have a starting right winger, and we do not have depth in various areas of the pitch.
Yeah, that's...
So I'll say not.
You know what it is? It's actually like key elements are missing. That's...
Yes. Yeah.
And I'm worried. I think we will get them done. It's that the timing is worrying me a little bit. But it seems that like Giuntoli, actually by the leagues, is extremely calm. Like if Koopmeiners is your main target, and it's August, basically, it is August now, and you haven't put in a bid, then there are two things. One, you 100% convinced you're gonna get him, or two, you're playing the media, which it's that's big time playing if that's actually the case, because you fool literally everybody in the media, fans. So that's the only thing that's kind of keeping me, how do you want to say that, positive right now, that for all the work that has been done so far, and I praise it. I've always said it's the difficult part that will come now, and that's, I think I said it like 3 weeks ago, and we're sitting here right now, and we're missing key elements. It's not going off that first game, by the way. Actually,
no.
I don't know. You watched that game? Did you watch?
I watched. Game? Yeah. I watched up until the 83rd minute, which is hilarious because I scored 2 goals. But as soon as I turned it off, basically.
Are you one of those people looking at the results from preseason, especially?
No, I tweeted Motta out like as a funny joke, and then it was like, and then I tweeted a thing about us losing to Lucento 3-2. They said a D team. Yeah, so I'm like, who cares? I saw Man City lose twice already. I've seen Manchester United lose to Rosenborg. Who cares? Who cares?
Yeah.
The only thing is, even if I lose to Atletico on when was that game? The 11th, I think.
The week before we
Yeah,
kick off.
if we lose to Atletico, I don't care if we lose. I just want to see, hey, how's Douglas Luiz doing? Hey, who's like, do we have a winger, or is it still Timothy Weah? Like, what are we doing? Like, I don't want, going back to the game though, I don't want to see those next gen kids play now.
No,
if they don't deserve. Like, I don't want to see Hassa play. I don't want to see Mbangula. Like, sure, it was fine for that one game. And I agree. However, I need the players who are going to be in our team to play.
That's probably going to happen right now.
Because right now, that first half, I'll be honest with you, that was worse than probably Allegri's days.
It was
against Nuremberg, yeah. And it's no knock on, like, because Thuram, yeah, okay. By the way, Thuram isn't like a physical beast. Like, he's 6'3", 6'4", and he can just run like he's Adrian Rabiot, but like bigger.
No, we knew that.
Yeah,
we knew what we were getting.
And yeah, so that game, I'm not worried about the result. I don't even care. Like, like I said, I didn't watch the last 5 minutes or whatever when we conceded 2 more goals. All I know is that we need our players to the ones that are going to be part of the project for this coming season to play.
Actually, if somebody actually looked into that result, second half when we put out starters, quote unquote.
Yep. First team players. Yeah.
Like, yes, sir, they're a Bundesliga 2 team, but they're kicking off this week.
Exactly.
Like, physically, they were on top. Yeah, that's absolutely no shame. Like, that's what it is. But in the second half, besides those 10 minutes and that Timothy Weah save on the goal line, we controlled that game. We kind of pinned them back. If Cambiasso and Vlahovic had their shooting boots on, we would have scored. You know, it got clear of the line a couple of times. You know, you missed a pen, whatever. If people really care about the result. But actually, like, the result means absolutely nothing. It means nothing. The first half you can throw away because like 3 starters, 4, Di Gregorio included. I mean, that was kind of pointless. That second half was more of an indication. And the only thing I take away from that game, when I tweeted it, is like physically in that second half, I was kind of impressed.
Yeah, I saw you said that.
Yeah. I was impressed because I watched preseason. We all watched together preseason games live on this channel.
Yeah,
and players looked absolutely cooked. You know.
Yeah.
And a couple 20 minutes in the second half, they were done. Even if they just came on, I was like, I hated it. And especially before the September international break, how many times did we go into a second half and other teams just outrun us? You know, we could have played Parma, Udinese, name it. They just outrun us because physically they were on top. That doesn't look like that's the case right now. So that's the only takeaway I have from that game. I'm like, fine, good, you know, because what else? Like, all the other things were we knew how Motta's going to play. You know, everybody was highlighting Facundo, you know, dropping in midfield. Yeah. Like, we knew what was going to happen, you know. It was just, okay.
Yeah, that's why we wanted Calafiori, right?
Yeah, it will probably be Todibo now. He will drop in. He's going to be the guy. So we knew the certain things. We knew kind of the setup, basically. But you can overreact. You can, and people did, you know, calling out Locatelli, saying, what is the excuse now? I'm like, the excuse is...
Didn't someone called him fat or something? Or someone said he was overweight? Someone said he was overweight or something? I was like, what?
Really? I saw somebody say, what's the excuse now? It's a third coach and he's not good. I'm like, it's 45 minutes.
It's the second coach.
Yeah, I mean, it's De Zerbi, then it's Allegri.
Oh, okay.
And it's Motta, and it's not working. I'm like, it's 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Probably after 2 running training sessions every single day the last 10 days, you know, nothing real tactical, more just physique wise, I'm assuming. I'm like, come on, I'm not the biggest Locatelli fan. I could have just chipped in there, but I don't like overreacting preseason. If we look like that against Atletico, like looking like that, forget about the result, like actually looking the way we conceded the last 2 goals, then I'm like, okay, that's not how you want to start a season. But other than that, I'm just, whatever, you know. We kind of move. I'm assuming we move to, this, you know, transfers, because we miss an attacking, we miss a defender.
Oh, sorely, yeah.
We miss 1, 2 wingers, depending what's gonna happen with Chiesa. That's still a very strange situation in my opinion.
He practiced today.
He practiced, and Romeo Greci said the club is not pushing him out, which makes sense because I don't think you have an issue with him. He didn't refuse a destination like a McKennie did. You know, he didn't put himself in that situation with the club.
Those guys returning from the Copa America, they come back on Tuesday, right?
They're all back. They're all back Tuesday. Yeah.
They're all back. They're all back Tuesday.
They should be all back. With McKennie, I have no idea because Timothy Weah is playing.
That's
I know people gave me 1,000 excuses. I'm like, it's
why? Because Weah got the 1 red card and he missed the game, and then he just came back earlier in the Copa America. Like,
I don't know. Maybe they had a time frame. You need to be back by then. If you want to be back early, fine. That
Fair. Yeah. That's the thing too, because I saw a bunch of other teams' players. They came back early compared to other players. So
if I'm McKennie, I'm not coming back. By the way, I don't. I'm not asking him to be back. If he knows I'm out, I wouldn't show up as well. It's gonna be interesting if he shows up, but I think he's one of those players you're out. But
wait, he did show up, didn't he? He did.
Oh, he did show up. I forgot.
Yeah,
he did show up.
I'm saying that he practiced yet. Is what I'm saying because he practiced today.
He practiced, but it was on his own. But I don't know if he practiced with the team McKennie. I've not seen anything about that. He did show up. Excuse me. That's right. I'm just going off my mindset of he's not part of the squad anymore.
Yeah, he's gone. Yeah, he's done. Yeah.
He's gone. So,
but to who we'll see because like,
I think at this point Giuntoli is like, I don't give two whats. I need that. I need that amount.
Pick a team. Yeah.
And get out. That's basically the situation. That's what I was saying with Chiesa. It's not like that. According to Romeo, it's like if an offer comes in, then yeah. But if not, then yeah, you're not gonna you're gonna use Chiesa.
Of course.
If he's gonna say you're gonna, even if you lose him on a free, I don't think that's the type of player where you're like, oh, just sit on in the stands. You're just gonna use it. Period. That's what you're gonna do. But let's talk about the attacking midfielder. Because Miretti is out, which.
So I saw a compound fracture of the foot or a toe.
He's gonna be out for the first. I think he's gonna be out until after international break. I think he will be back by then.
Yeah, my buddy told me a compound fracture is like when you break skin. Is that not true?
I have no idea. I read the reporting and I understood like 3 words, and the words were "are," "is," and "he." That's it. I had no clue. I had Sky on when I came back home, and they said like 15 days of rest, and then he's gonna miss
15, right?
15. Yeah, 1-5.
Yeah.
And then he's going to miss the next 2 games. I'm like, then it's Roma, and then it's international break. So after the international break, I'm assuming, basically. The 1st of September, it's Roma, and then it's international.
And he did that in training or against Nuremberg?
Apparently, it was against Nuremberg. He picked something up. So it got a bit worse.
The dude broke his foot. Yeah, okay.
Apparently. But it's a shame because I think he was going to start on match day 1. I thought he was pinned down to start.
Because by the time you get Koopmeiners or plan B of Koopmeiners, then Miretti was going to be the starter. Unless he really liked Douglas Luiz and Locatelli together, let's start Thuram, and he put Fagioli up there. You know what I mean? Like little machinations of whatever could have happened.
Yeah. But I was just thinking about the timing. Like Douglas Luiz comes back now. He's not up to fitness. Miretti's been training from day 1, basically. He's up to speed. Yeah. And actually, he looked good against Nuremberg,
He did all the things he's always good at.
Yeah, and then
that's my opinion.
Yeah, but it wasn't ezy. Like you had Sekulov up there doing cardio for 45 minutes.
Sekulov is fucking Nikola Kudryk 2.0.
Oh,
Jesus.
Your guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But now more so, that's also one of the questions. Like, do you need to push for Koopmeiners even more? Like, the answer for me is like, yeah, but
not because of Miretti's injury though.
No, just in general.
Yeah.
What do you like? Forget about the price tag because we'll talk about that in a sec. I think the price tag is making sure that he gets disrespected way too much. I think people are going overboard. People are making it sound like we are signing McKennie. If you know what I mean. Like what we think about McKennie now, that's what people make it sound like we are signing that limited player. What do you?
This is the opposite of limited. He could do anything you want him to do. Again, that's not overrating him either. Like, he's just good at everything, but not the best at everything. You know what I mean? He's good at shooting. He's good at passing. He's good at finding holes. He's good at finding spaces. He can tackle. He can do all that, but he's not like the best at it. So I think he's it's a great player. And if we end up spending 55 million, it is what it is. Did he ask to be bought for 55 million? No. Does he ask? Is his salary lower? Yeah. So maybe on him, he look at it that way. He accepted a $4.5 million salary. Is it $4.5 million?
A rumor to be, yeah.
Yeah. So judge him on that, on what he provides from what he makes. If not you guys, if the fans said, "Oh, Rabiot, you're making $8 million, you're great," and Rabiot does that, there's something twisted in your mind, I think. Because I think what Koopmeiners is going to provide is support to Vlahovic, because he's a big body and he can help out and provide not a shadow striker, but if Vlahovic is holding up the ball up top, he can lay it off to Koopmeiners, and Koopmeiners is smart enough to be close to him and play off him. And you know what? 55 million is probably the highest I'd go. I'd say.
I will go 45.
I'm saying the highest. I don't want 55 like that. Yeah.
I think that's
I wouldn't. Right now, my first bid would not be 55. It'd be 45. Like what they did, or what they're planning to do.
I think they're planning to do to offer less, in my opinion. But I don't think they're offering 45 up front. I don't think they're gonna.
It's like 40 plus 5.
I think they're gonna open with something like that, if they're actually gonna open at this point. But we need that's why I think it's very strange, the situation. Yes, you need to sell players and whatever to generate money, which we'll talk about in a sec as well. But we need him. We need that type of player, you know. If the reports are true that Motta said, I'd rather have you spend that money on him than the guy I actually made, in Calafiori, then even if you personally think it's a bad idea, if you think, man, I don't like Koopmeiners, I like Calafiori more, if the coach who actually had Calafiori for a season and never had Koopmeiners said, I need him to make it work, I can do with Bremer, Todibo, Danilo, I can make that work, then you need to hand him that ASAP, as soon as possible. As soon as possible. That's my biggest issue right here.
Do you have your laptop or phone, another web browser handy in front of you?
Yeah.
Can you check what Bologna and Atalanta did last year? The Koopmeiners just shit on Bologna.
When they played each other.
Yeah.
What? I've actually. What was that? Let me check.
Because I also checked. What Verona did against Bologna, for Cabal. He didn't do great. I was just wondering why he wanted him so bad.
Let me
check that. Yeah, check that just to see.
How can you?
Because go Fought Mob and then go to past results. And you just scroll through.
Foot mob. No, but
just go through there.
Usually you can. Oh, here we go. No. I don't know.
Oh, I'll talk while you look for those. So yeah, obviously a big deal was made, but I think even to your point where you're just talking about the Nuremberg game, where Facundo Gonzalez was doing what Calafiori was doing in defense.
They beat Atalanta away, and Koopmeiners did not have a good game.
Okay, so good start. Okay.
And then when did they play Bologna, Atalanta? They beat them at home as well.
Bologna did the double over Atalanta?
And Koopmeiners had a brilliant game away to Bologna. Actually, it was man of the match, I think. And they lost.
Well, there you go. So something sparked his fancy. You know what I mean?
I don't know if you watched the Europa League final against Leverkusen.
Yeah, of course. He was great.
Yeah, that was the thing. Obviously, the shining light went to
Ederson,
and I forgot the name who actually scored the goals.
Lookman.
And Ederson was good, but the dirty work in that game from Koopmeiners was unbelievable. And that's what you said early on, because people are like, oh, people are worried that we don't have enough goals in the team right now, which I 100% agree with. Yeah. He's going to add that. He's not going to add 20 because that's what we're missing right now. But
double digits though.
Yeah, what he also had is like I've watched him in the Eredivisie, and people are worried about Atalanta, me included, but not so much because I've watched him in a different league. I don't care if it's the Eredivisie. I've watched him. He's a very, I like to call it like industrial player. Like he just does the job, and he does that at a consistent, very, very good level. Is he worth that 55 Atalanta one? No. If we pay them, I'm not gonna say, hey, that's on you. I've never said that. When people talk about Vlahovic, oh, he's on. I don't even talk about the wages. The club hands out the wages. Like when it comes to Rabiot, I'm like, now you have a decision to not give that wage again. That's my own entire point. If the club gave Rabiot 8.5 million euros and he had a shitty game, I will say that's not an 8.5 million performance, but that's on the club. That's not on Rabiot. If I go to work tomorrow and they offer me double, and I know good and well I work not hard enough to earn that, I'm still taking that money. I don't care.
100%.
I'm taking that, and if somebody of my colleagues is talking behind my back, I'm like, whatever. I'm on double money. I don't care. Yeah. So that's my entire point. Will he be an upgrade on that midfield? 100%. 1,000%. Like 1,000%. Because Douglas Luiz is not that type of player. Thuram definitely is not that type of player. Locatelli is not that type of player. Miretti is, for me, like somebody between the lines, open space. He's not physique-wise. He's not what Koopmeiners is and all those things. And Fagioli, no. Like, I think
all those players you just named don't add goals.
And that's
maybe Luiz does a bit because, I don't know, he scored almost 10 in the Prem, but he scored penalty shots. But still, you know what I mean? Like, you're exactly right. The added dimension of goal contributions from midfield was a main point last year, and you're trying to address it.
What about, like, just in general? Because, like, what did Vlahovic had in Serie A? 16?
16, yeah.
16, which is
I think we scored 50 total. No, that's wrong.
Could be something around that.
In the 50s, I think we scored, which is nothing in a 38-game season.
Like, he scored 16, I think, which is not good enough. I need at least 20. I don't know what Chiesa had, 6,
I think
7?
Chiesa almost had 10.
Really? Oh, but he scored like...
it's Coppa Italia game, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, and he scored in the last couple of games with absolutely nothing. He still scored, but when the chips were down, it was like, whatever. And that's kind of like Milik had a couple. Keane had absolutely nothing.
Keane scored nothing.
Keane absolutely nothing. Now you kind of move out Chiesa.
Yeah,
that's what you do. You moved out Keane, which whatever. Trying to move out Milik. I see why people are like, okay, where are the goals coming? Because you're linked to Jadon Sancho. He's not a goal scoring machine, or like the last couple of seasons. Adeyemi looks like a very wasteful player. I've not looked up how many goals he scored this season.
It was 5 or 6 or something.
Yeah, I mean
in the Bundesliga. Yeah,
I'm talking like league. That's not good, and I'm being very nice. That's actually rubbish.
But to your point, like he didn't do that, right? He didn't score the goals. I think they're thinking maybe Motta can make him score the goals.
Okay, so you're taking...
it's a hope, you know what I mean? Yeah.
I don't know. How many goals did Conceição score? From what I've watched from him, he's never going to score a lot of goals. That's just me. Again, Galeno, I don't watch these players. Pepe, I don't watch these type of players. I've never watched them, so I don't know.
Galeno, again, I think I mentioned this the last time we were... did a podcast. Galeno, every time I saw him in the Champions League box score, I saw him score. It was a Galeno goal. I think he scored 5 Champions League goals last year in like 7 games.
Okay, that's
every time. But I'm not saying that that's. I'm just saying why I know of Galeno.
Yeah, I mean, it's still like goals are a bit worry. Like they're lacking. So he's taking a massive risk right here, or forced risk. You know, when people say, what I also don't like is people now are coming to McKennie and Chiesa saying, "Oh, that's why we needed to sell Sule." I want to break the very easy news. We were always gonna sell Sule, even if Chiesa was sold 2 weeks ago, even if McKennie was sold 3 weeks ago. We were selling Sule. It's clean money. That was the most obvious sale this summer, basically. You know, him, Junior, like those were very obvious sales. So, like goals are lacking, and we're linked to players who do not offer a lot of goals. So that is extremely confusing and slightly worrying to me.
Yeah.
But again, I've said it. They are kind of making their decisions, and we need to go with it right now.
Yeah.
We need to go with it, and I will call it out after the next summer. When that transfer window has been closed, I will really call it out because I need to see the big picture. Because right now, I know the guy who's always in the comments saying this is what you wanted, this is this, and this is that, blah blah blah. I don't read your comments anymore because they're like a Bible.
Repetitive, boring. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like a Bible.
Oh, like a huge essay.
Yeah, like I did it the first 10 times. I'm done with it now. I want to win. That's what I want. That is as simple as that.
By the way, people keep like the video. Like the video.
Yeah, like, subscribe. But like always the same thing. Oh, you wanted this. I want to win.
Yeah.
That's all I want. And time will tell if we're gonna win.
Yeah.
We need a change. We need a lot of change. Not now. Not like last year. Not the year before that. But like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And they're finally making the changes. You can say not
trying
to in a very dire situation for the club. Actually, they're doing more than I was expecting so far. I'm serious.
I think, but okay. So, outlook as of Monday, we've sold 79 million euros worth of next gen players, and or like should have been first, but you know what I mean. They came from the next gen. We haven't sold we've only sold Moise Kean as a first teamer. I know we're expecting Milik to leave, Kostic, blah, 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 blah. I know expecting those dudes to leave, but they haven't been done yet.
Kostic, I'm not so sure anymore.
Well, like they wanted to leave.
But like everybody is surprised with the amount of next gen players we're selling.
I'm not surprised.
I was gonna say the same thing. I said like if 10 years from now, 3 of them made it to the first team consistently, like for 10 years.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable. It's like it was never gonna be the case that all 6, 7 were gonna be in that main team. Forget about Agnelli said. He said like in a couple of years, 50% of the team needs to be from next gen. BS.
Like he was just hyping that up.
He was hyping. You can do that if you want to be Ajax. You can absolutely do that. You know, and not even Ajax are doing that, by the way. They also buy. They include 3, 4, and like 2 of them are actually starters and 2 of them are subs and whatever. You know, they don't do like that. You know.
Yeah.
Even those teams in Belgium, like Anderlecht, Genk, where I live, they don't play 10 youngsters in that squad. They don't have 5, 6 youngsters in that squad. They don't. And if they have, one of them plays. Maybe 2, and that's kind of it, basically.
Yeah.
They buy young players, and they play them. But they're not all from the academy. So it was never realistic. I've said it, and I think you said, that next gen is a cash cow. Too fun. So, because how many players, like, named them?
Do you remember when I did those, the youth reports?
I remember that because I added it.
I always said at the end of like, not all these guys aren't going to be on the team. Like they're good, right? I said like Hoist.
Oh, your sound is gone. Your sound is gone. You need to come in and out again. Technical issues, but what Julian was saying is right. Like most of the players who are in the next gen, maybe they have a sniff in the first team, like Nonche. They will come into the first team, but they will not remain. That's just not. It's not realistic. It was never going to be like that. We knew that. It's just that maybe selling them right now is kind of what the worry is more so, because now people are looking at it saying that, oh, we are just selling all of them without actually giving them potentially a fair shot to contribute to the first team, actually offer something to the first team. But for the club, they are offering something. They're offering money. That's what they're offering right now. And money, fresh money to reinvest in players that are ready-made, should be ready-made, basically, with no big question marks around them. We know who they are. You know what Douglas Luiz is. Actually, you know what Thuram is. You played at a high level for a couple of years, so you know what you're gonna get. Basically, Di Gregorio, you know what he is. Koopmeiners, Toribo. That's what the club is doing. That's what the next gen was for. And if 1-2 players actually make it, Fagioli makes it, Miretti, for now, makes it, then the club's like, cool, job done. Next gen. Because how many players in the past did we loan out? You'll probably find one player we loaned out to the entire Swiss league before we moved them on to Virtus and Tela for like 100k.
Yep.
I think the club was like, okay, that needs to stop. It's just a never-ending cycle of actually loaning out players for no reward whatsoever. Let's focus on actually maybe paying a little bit more to bring players in, but chuck them in the next gen. Maybe have a first team appearance, loan them out to a Serie A club, and then move them on if we don't actually think they're gonna move the needle for us, or we actually need money to reinvest in main starters. And that's the next point, because Sule and Huijsen are both gone. I think for me the Huijsen one is more surprising than the Sule one.
In terms of leaving, or the team he chose?
In terms of leaving this summer, the way it went down so quickly, and basically saying you stay in Italy while we are in Germany. Yes, I was not expecting that. Fair. I was expecting him to not stay with the club if he was not going to be given a first team spot. I said it when he chose Roma.
Maybe they said that though. Maybe they said that in like May or
then I'm
June.
Not, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I think that's what happened, and then he's like okay, because like I watched what was that one video you said about the disrespect he did to Frosinone to Roma. I agree 100%. Yeah, 100% I agree with that. And all the bullshit interviews he does in between, he talks too much. He's 19, 18. Great player. Could be really good. But screw you. Go away. Like, I don't need that. It's a headache. You don't need headaches. Especially if it's pure profit like we got.
Yeah. I mean,
probably not enough in your opinion, 15 plus 3, whatever. But in my opinion, I think that's good money for an 18, 19-year-old.
Yeah.
Relative unknown still.
I get it, but like when you sell a player of that age prospect, I think you also sell potential. I don't think you really calculated that in the price tag. It's a bit too low. I thought I was expecting something like 20 cash and then bonus whatever. I thought it was gonna be something like that,
but add on, Giuntoli did not want him, and just get him out. Like they just add on to the fact that he just wanted him out.
He made that very clear. Even with Sule. People are panicking. Oh, it was 40. It was never going to be 40.
No.
Let that sink in. Leicester City, West Ham, or Roma, nobody was going to pay 40 million. That was the media thing. Yeah. I always thought we were going to get something around 33 with bonuses. I thought that was a fair price.
Yeah.
We could be up there if they actually sell them on Roma.
Yeah.
Which I think kind of will happen. I think he will do well, and I think they will move him on in the past, for a bit more money. Then you get that money you wanted. They gave a price. They priced it. Giuntoli handed out the discount for Sule 100%. He did that.
Yeah.
Because it's Roma. He did that, and do I have a problem with that? Yes. And
okay, what was Leicester offering? 30 cash.
Sorry?
Was Leicester offering 30 cash?
30 cash, yeah.
I mean, okay, so we got 2 million less because apparently 2 million is like easy bonuses.
Yeah.
I don't, and you did right by the player, and the player never caused an issue, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying for people like, 40 million. It was never 40, but he ended out a discount.
No, it was
he
never
did
40 million.
because he needed to have that cash in, or like he's not gonna have 30 million or 26 million right now in his hands. It's not like that.
No, he
But
books it. No,
he book it. It's just the idea of, okay, now I can actually bring in a player again, and book it out, whatever. It's just the idea that
FFP
kind
won't
of
screw
counts.
you. FFP won't screw you.
Yeah,
Like
that's
what it
basically
is. Yeah.
that's basically it. So it's a shame. I wanted to see Sule. I still believe in Sule. I hope he does well. Not against us, but I'm actually going to the Roma game. Like 99%
Yeah, you said that.
sure.
I saw it. Yeah.
I'm going. So hopefully, I don't need to watch a Dybala Sule show at the stadium.
Well, they gotta play you in each other's positions.
They're gonna play at the same time. They're not gonna spend 30 million euros to bench him.
Sure. Yeah. Fun.
I'm not sure how he's gonna make
that
work. So
put 2 defenders on that side, and then we're good.
I'm not sure how De Rossi's gonna fit him in, but that's kind of his issue right now. I'm assuming.
And Dovbyk, who you're spending 35 million on, good for them.
I cannot believe. I'm sorry. I like him, but again, we spent 70 for Vlahovic. I get it, and that was overpaying. But I'm not sold on him. But whatever. That's their.
Not my problem. Not your problem.
That's their thing. That backline still is rubbish, and that midfield from Roma is still not good. But yeah, that's up to them. Let's move on to. We talked about the wingers a little bit, like the names mentioned, whatever. That backline, that's also has been a debate, on social media. Hours, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Because I'm from the opinion, let's assume Todibo is not joining for now. He's still not here. He's not our player.
Yep.
Let's assume like he's not in the picture right now. I am kind of frightened, but like I'm scared. It scares me how many fans, media, part of the fan base, part of the media, believe so much in Gatti. And I know you like Gatti.
No, time out.
Well, you're okay with him. You know who he is.
I'm okay with him. Yeah.
But he's gonna play a main part, apparently. That scares the hell out of me.
I think he'll rotate between a right back and a center back, not always starting.
That scares the hell out of me.
Fair, but some people are okay with it. It's right back in the sense of a posh.
It still scares me. I'd rather have posh.
No, fair. I get it. Like I don't expect him to be. Game. Yeah, of course.
He was trying. He was trying to fight some. I know it's preseason. That was the issue. I was like, dude, like,
calm down.
The game, like, it was going into a direction, like the atmosphere of the game. I was like, why? You don't need to push that image of I'm that type of guy. That's kind of the issue. Like that you're type of guy. You need to calm down. And he kind of mastered that the first season after January. And then last season I watched him play, and down the stretch I was like, oh boy. Like it's not going upwards. It's going downwards, and that's not good. That feels like he had a kind of a purple patch where he was wow or like okay, and now it's like I'm just gonna show who I'm actually and now I'm just gonna be stale. This is it. This is who I am.
Yeah.
Pair that with the club apparently saying, no, you're not for sale, even for 25. I'm like, what?
Yeah, what are we buying for? 7? What was it, 7?
Something. No, I thought it was a bit more with bonuses. Could be, but
maybe 10. Maybe 10 total.
Let's say 10.
Like
total.
even if you're selling for like what Hoyson was bought for, like that's good. Sell him.
I don't understand.
Like I told you, I'm fine with him being I'm fine with him being like a Rugani type player, like just play whenever like it's desperate. But when I hear starting right back, I'm like, no, can you play right back? Yeah, I guess, because you were there last year as a makeshift right back in the back three. But to start, no. Like it's going to be Danilo at this point. No, he's not. He's not. He doesn't. Nothing registers with him. It's always a bull. He sees red. That's him.
Oh my god! I just imagine we play 2 extra Champions League games this season.
So in the Champions League against a team like against a Benfica or like PSG with Luis Enrique at the helm, like he's going to get danced around again.
No, 100.
But a team against Inter or like a Napoli, he could play those games because they're going to ask him to sit and defend probably, right? I'm okay with that.
It scares me. No, it scares me that
sure. Like,
it scares me that the club is saying no, we don't want to sell you, and that the fan base is like
that's a scary thing.
The fan base is like, oh, and I'm not making this up, by the way. He could be our new Chiellini. I'm like, he's 25. He's not even close to what Chiellini was at 24, like 24, whatever. 20. Somebody need to look up how Chiellini played at that age, because I think people forgot how good Chiellini actually was already at that age. You know, maybe because we were kind of shit, nobody was really noticing it, or like whatever.
Yeah,
he was good. You can see he was. If we didn't turn out to be good, the club would have sold Chiellini for big money. They would have sold him back then. We just turned out to be fantastic out of nowhere when Conte arrived.
Yeah.
Just out of the blue, boom, we were great. But Chiellini was always good. He was always a very
even as a left
good
back. Even as a left back, he was good. Yeah,
he could just defend. He was good at it, and even he was like a bull, but he could control it. Like he can make it look normal. With Gatti, it's like nope. It feels like Sunday league.
Your ankles, its ankles are snapped, or you're getting the ball clean, or who knows? Take your pick.
If Motta turns him into a respectable defender, when I'm like, we're in January, like okay, that looks like how it should be looking like. You know, you kind of have it under control right there. And he had it. He had it in control for that part of the season before the last one. And last season, he kind of lost it again. I don't know what it was. It's very... I don't believe in him. As a player, I don't. You know, and that's why I'm like, if you're a backup, good. But if there's good money, then I'd rather recoup that money and invest in somebody with much higher potential. That's just how I was looking at it. And apparently he's going to stay, you know, left back, right back, center back. He's just going to, you know, do it all. Do it all.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if Motta, like you said, could do something. But please do not, like Thiago, if you're listening, buddy, do not ask Federico Gatti to pop into midfield. Please don't do that.
He did that. He did it in the friendly, and he got away with it. But there was a point where he was like, "Do I need to play with my right or left foot?" And he was just dancing just above the ball, and then he was like, "Screw it, I'm just gonna power through everybody right here." And I'm like, "Oh boy!" Like,
so and again, sometimes players who are wired like that and can't think, and they just do. Just know what you are, and I don't think he knows what he is still. But I'm not trying, again, I like him as a backup. I like him fine. But if you're rejecting, like you said, millions and millions of euros to sell him on, don't do that. Just sell him. And he makes peanuts too, right? He makes like less than two or 2.5.
Yeah, he's like, no, I think less. I think it's 1.8 or something.
Yeah, so like again, like his wage is not an issue. Just even against a team like, even if he plays like Como, that's fine. I'm okay with that. Not the first game. I'm saying if it's a rotation like game 22 and there's an injury, I'm okay with him starting against Como.
Let's say the lineup the formation we saw against Nuremberg is what he's gonna play. Who's gonna start on match day 1?
Do I assume everybody is like,
everybody is here?
Whoever signed,
yeah.
Oh, the targets as well.
Todibo was a target. No, I'm just talking about that back line. I'm that back line.
Oh, just okay. So if Todibo's yes, he's in. I think he really likes Cabal, but unfortunately, he's not going to start because Todibo's the guy with the big money coming in. So it's going to be Cambiaso, Todibo, Bremer, Danilo.
Okay. Actually, Cabal looked like
very good.
He looked
solid.
Like, yeah. He has kind of a Cuadrado-esque burst on him out of nowhere, or like not that type of burst, but I can move the ball quickly away, and I'm kind of gone right here. Which I'm okay. Again, it's a very. We didn't talk about him, by the way. Nobody's really talking about him.
Yeah,
you know, we signed him.
Solid. I think it's a solid addition.
We signed him on a cheap, basically in today's market. It's a cheap. kind of out of the blue. Not kind of, just out of the blue, period. It was
very
out of
quick,
the blue.
very quick.
And yeah, like, I don't know much of, like, when you watch Verona, you don't focus on Verona players, because when I watch Verona, I watch them against Inter, Napoli, and I focus on them. I'm just being completely honest. And it's not the type of player who stands out because he's hacky or, you know, he does crazy stuff. But he looks like a player who can do a job for now, and then in the future, who knows? You know, maybe more than just a job.
Once he gets comfortable in an environment and where he's ought to be on the ball more, maybe he excels. But the left back and left center back, you got a player that can play both. He looked, I'll say, for the 45 minutes, comfortable. He looks okay, like comfortable on the ball as well. And then when you go back and rewatch the games against, I don't know, Inter or whatever, he was fine. Like, he was fine. Maybe in a better team now, he can express himself.
Who was not fine?
Maybe. What? Sorry.
I was gonna say who was not fine was your guy Diallo.
My guy, yeah. But I never said he was gonna start center back. To be fair.
No. I'm not saying that. But I think. Wow.
I also said at the beginning when he came in, I was like, he was never a dude that could defend well.
No, I mean, if you never watched him play, and just look up the stats, well, he's not a good defender. You know, it's like
I watch Ligue 1 a lot because of the Canadians that go there, and I don't know, it's just part of my package. And I watched obviously Lille because Jonathan David played there, and obviously Diallo played there. He was good for that league. He was good. He was strong, and there was not many one-on-one opportunities that came through the pipe like what happened against Nuremberg. So he looked all right and half decent.
You know, it's like, you know, I think we now kind of already know who he is. But like, I'm not gonna hold that. Okay, if you concede a goal like that, I'm gonna hold that against you, because good defender or not, like, I mean, that's just...
even preseason or not, like, you just be a defender, please. Just stand up,
stay on your feet, make it look decent, whatever. But it's like, we signed Douglas Luiz, and Motta said sometimes, he said, well, if you watch his presser, I don't know if you can recall it.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah,
he loves him.
Tweeted it out. Yeah,
he loves him. You know, he said sometimes he needs to defend, somebody needs to attack. I'm like, that's good, but you're probably not gonna ask him a lot of times to defend because he's not good at it.
Yeah, don't misprofile him.
Yeah, you're kind of gonna do him a disservice. Everybody, like the fans, the team, you know. So you need to kind of use, like, that goes for Diallo. Like, you need to use him who he is. Somebody, I was doing a live chat. Somebody said, "Oh, but he's not. If he's not a center back, then what?" I'm like, everything but a center back, basically. Like, he's just not. I think he could be a good winger or like whatever, you know, wing back.
I think I think right back he'd be fine.
Yeah, but we don't play with wing backs. That's why it's like winger, whatever. Like, he will probably be better at that aspect than actually play. He's not gonna play center back, but if Thiago Motta had slight doubts that maybe he can do, he cannot. Preseason or not, he cannot. Absolutely not. The other worrying point is obviously the wingers. Forget, like, we're talking about the wingers, but everybody's like, what about your guy, Tim Weah?
That's not my guy. Again, you keep saying he's my guy.
I mean, he's American/Canadian. It's all the same. No?
He's not Canadian at all. He had no.
It's close.
The only thing that I like Weah more than McKennie now, because McKennie disrespected me in the jersey line when the U.S. came up to play. The U.S. coming up to play against Canada right beside my house. Like, a 5-minute walk from my house to the World Cup qualifier. I told the story.
Oh yeah, you told them. Yeah, but
I had my McKennie jersey ready to rock and a marker, and he just fucking head down walked away. I'm like, dude, like,
you have a McKennie.
Who has a Juventus jersey? Yeah, who has a Juventus jersey in Hamilton, Ontario, with a marker? Like, respect, bro. And then Weah, I didn't have the opportunity with Weah because he wasn't on the team yet. So, Weah, yes, McKennie, get the fuck out.
But that's on you. You bought a McKennie jersey. I don't know.
Yeah, it is on me. Yeah. I haven't worn that in like years, so.
Like the Rugani one or the Beraneski one.
No, that's Justin. That's Justin Bernardeschi.
Oh, I thought you had one as well.
No. I never liked Bernardeschi. Like, not at all.
But yeah.
But Timmy Weah is definitely a player. He's going to stay on the team because we have no wingers.
The question, he was asked that, Motta, after the game. Well, we talked about, it's going to be Weah. It can be. He said he's not going to play in the back line, period.
No.
He said he's going to be a winger, striker, second striker, whatever. He did it all. He did it well in the past. That's how I'm going to use it. He made it very, very clear. So the answer is, I know Padula's saying if 2 wingers go out, 2 come in. Sule goes out, Chiesa goes out, 2 come in.
When
Motta said that, I'm like, 1 is coming in. It's not 2. Timothy Weah is going to be used a lot this season. Like, a lot.
As a sub, not a starter.
I think he's going to start games as well.
Yeah.
He's going to start games.
I agree.
And
you think he's going to start games?
He's going to start quite a lot of games this season. If you have Vlahovic, Yildiz, and, I don't know, Adeyemi. I'm just, pick him.
Yep, insert player. Yep.
He's going to start a lot of games. We play 58 games or something. He's going to start games. He's going to start at least.
Yeah, he's not going to be the main dude, though. You know those games I said Gatti was going to start? I think Weah will start those games.
To his credit, he was back in preseason mode.
Yep.
Actually skipped past players, won the pen, saved the ball. Like, he did it all on the day. He's just.
But that's him, though. That is him. That he's a very quick guy, and he has one-on-one ability to beat you. Even in the Copa America, he plays as a winger for the USA. He will beat you.
Do you think
he will?
Do you think he can unlock it? Because it's all like right now his career is somebody unlock me, please. That's how I view his career.
Yeah.
Like, just unlock me, because I think remember last season I said he goes, like, he reaches a certain point on the field and he's like, what do I need to do right now? I can do a lot of things, but I'm not sure what I need to do right now. Do I need to skip past
he doesn't know what. He doesn't know what. Yeah.
That's
exactly. He doesn't know what the coach wants. Even for the US, again, I'll go back to that because I watch him with the USA too, because Copa America, Canada, all that bullshit. Their coach, Berhalter, he just got fired because he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. It is what it is. But he always excels at USA because they give him the freedom because he's one of the better players to attack. Like, go direct. He doesn't have to play combinations with. Usually it's Balogun. You know Balogun, right? The striker. Yeah. So usually he doesn't play combination. He doesn't play 1-2s with McKennie or Balogun, or who's the other guy that plays in there? Aronson. He just goes. And when he gets to the touchline, he either makes a great cross in or he drives like he did against Nuremberg. It's because he has the ability. He's fast.
It's kind of a big risk, because if he's going to.
But I'll ask you, because the wingers at Bologna last year were Orsolini, Salamakers, and Ndoye. And I think, and who else? Is that it?
That's it, I think.
I'm blanking on the other one.
Ndoye, Salamakers, Orsolini. That's it.
I think that's it. Because you never used Ferguson out there.
No, we didn't.
There might be another random Italian guy who is a fourth choice. Doesn't matter. But Orsolini, not that guy. He's that number 10 creative fantasy guy, right? Not Weah. Salamakers, not the pacey guy. He's more of a calm it down. Let's see what happens here. And Ndoye is the fast guy. What is Motta thinking more the lines of Weah being Ndoye prototype or what?
I don't know. That's my point. I don't know what he's thinking. I know what he's thinking because he said it. He's not going to play in that back line. He's going to play up top.
He should not. Yeah.
Somewhere.
He should also not be forward though, unless we're desperate.
Yeah, I mean, if he plays forward, your game plan kind of changed completely. There's also a Vlahovic. He didn't have a Vlahovic last season. Arnautovic left. So he didn't have a target man. That's also going to be interesting to fit him. He's going to need to work around that or work that with that. Basically, he didn't have that.
Yeah.
So he needs to find a solution for that as well.
What was his famous quote? Vlahovic will play good as long as the team plays good.
That I
did. That's the quote. Is that the quote?
He said, the expectations. He said the expectations basically depends on the team. If the team
Yes.
plays well, Vlahovic plays well.
And that leads me to believe that he is going to make everybody create for him. Right?
If you have that type of player, like that type of number 9, you have no choice.
Yes. So my thought process is they're not planning to lump the ball into him as much as what Allegri used him for. My thought process is if they do, they have a guy like Koopmeiners to open up the wings to play him in and then cut it back to Vlahovic. That's my thought process. And that's why I think Adeyemi is wanted.
We didn't talk, like, before I go to the questions. Before we go into the questions, Adeyemi, we didn't really talk about him. He seems to be the number 1
option
choice.
1.
Yeah, option one right now.
It's pretty clear because they're talking to his camp.
Yeah. We did, but the price tag is potentially reason to cry about, I think. But
yeah, that's one where you're like, okay, let's settle down here. Not Koopmeiners. Adeyemi's the one where you're like, okay.
When I open a newspaper these days, no matter, you can just insert the name. The base price is 40 million euros.
It's 40.
No matter what the name is.
For us, yeah.
It could be the most random name where you're like, I need to look him up. Who the hell is this? It's 40 million euros.
Well, Emil Smith-Rowe just went for 27 million pounds. Yeah, which is like what, 35 million euros?
Be close to it. I think it's like
dude,
less. Yeah.
Yeah, dude hasn't scored since 2022.
He hasn't played decent amount of minutes since
yeah. So like.
But on Adeyemi, what do you?
Yeah.
Because for me, he's a wasteful kind of player, but he causes just total chaos. Like total chaos because he's quick. He runs at absolutely everything. It's just when he reaches again, when he gets close to goal, it's kind of errors.
Wires cross.
Yeah.
The wires cross. It's like something's not working and then smoke comes out of his ears.
Like Motta, like if you want some, like if you have one player where you like, I can make it work, but when you are looking at him, Gatti, when it's like I can make it work, I'm like, you probably can't. You cannot fix many players.
Too much.
It's too much.
It's like the youth team. You can't expect everybody to come through. You can't expect to fix everybody if they have a problem. It's just one. It's a little bit in the middle of everything.
Do you think he can work?
Like he might fix one. I think because so much money will be focused on him, Motta will give the most time to him.
No.
Sorry?
But...
Sorry, did you say no? Or
no, I'm like...
I didn't hear.
I like...
Yeah.
Is there time?
No, I'm saying because the most... Like, throughout the season...
Oh, okay. Like that.
Like, when he signs, because the most money has been spent on Adeyemi, Motta will be not forced, but like it'll be like, you're going to have to probably work with him the most. And if that happens... He's young enough, Adeyemi, that you can potentially talk, like, not teach him because you can't teach like end product. You really can't. No. You can't teach decision making. Like Murat, you just have to get it. So maybe in isolated situations, like we've seen the preseason, the video of him missing that horrible whatever. in terms, that's not decision making. That's just fucking technique and like just block your head out and score the goal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The decision making you're talking about is like the Champions League final and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's where you gotta like hope something clicks in. And maybe with a Motta system, he'll be able to get through that. But again, the challenging thing with Adeyemi is that's boomer, but that's somebody you pay like 20 million for, not 50.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah, definitely.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Definitely not 50. But
you know what I mean? Like that's a player. If you're taking it's a risk. You don't want to. You want to do a 45. You don't want to do a 45, 50 million risk, because then it's a big problem.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna pay that. I don't think.
No, I don't either. I'm just saying like that's what I saw. I'm like, okay, doubt it.
Yeah, we're not gonna do that. That sounds way too much money. But we'll see where this is heading. Could be a shock name. Could be whatever.
I don't think it's gonna be a shock name. I think we're an open book this year in terms of media is knowing our players.
No, I mean shock in Yes, we talk with Galeno, we talk with Conceição, but shock in terms of like you wake up and it's like actually Conceição was extremely close now. You know, that type of shock where it's like it didn't feel close and then boom, it's him. But let me read out a few questions before we wrap this one up. Lucas, we kind of answered that saying with the injury of Moretti, will this affect how quickly we go for Koopmeiners? I'm going to say no. I think
his injury shouldn't reflect on how fast we go for Koopmeiners.
Yeah, I think the timeline, Giuntoli set that out already. Somebody's saying Sule joining Roma, similar hype and stats as
congrats
Juan and Turbe back in the day. Do you think that Sule will end up as a Turbe or does he have something more? I think he has something more. Just his head is screwed on more so, I think.
Yeah. Seems like a good kid.
He seems like a very collected kid. So I'm going to say no, because that drop off from Iturbe is insane. It's a season wonder, basically. Like one and done. Yeah. That was insane.
Sule could also have that, by the way, because now he's a new environment again. And there's a lot of players in that area of the field. Who knows what's going to happen? I hope the best for him, like you said, but I don't really care anymore. No, he's not my player.
He's not my player, so I don't. Same. Does Motta already? This final question, last question. Does Motta already found his shape of play with the current squad? I watched the game against Nuremberg and find him still has no idea how he's going to play.
I think it was pretty clear.
Like the setup was clear. Definitely not, because half
the squad.
Like Danilo Bremer is gonna be a starter. He's not here. You assume Douglas Luiz is gonna be a starter. He's not here. Chiesa, if he stays or not, his replacement is not here. You know, Yildiz is not here. So it's hard to. You can see the idea, but the execution was done by players with lower quality. So it's way too early. It's way too early. Even against Brest this week.
Yeah, the Atletico game is going to be telling in terms of who starts.
More so. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Although he said, very interesting, somebody said, like, do you have, kind of this question, do you have that amount? You know, something in mind, like, these players are going to start, this is the formation, so on. And he said, kind of what he said about, when he coached Bologna, who's better on the day, who showed me the better things in training, is going to start. Which I agree with certain players, but I think certain players will always. If he gets Koopmeiners, he always starts.
No, that was the same thing with Ferguson, Orsolini, Calafiori, and Posh.
I can see him.
Zirkzee. Those guys always started.
I can see him wake up on a match the day before, and he's like, didn't like what Fagioli kind of showed in training. Europe, Douglas Luiz, Locatelli, you guys are going to start, not Fagioli this time. I can see him doing that, but. Di Gregorio, Bremer, I'm assuming Todibo, Koopmeiners if he joins, Vlahovic. I think those are guys that's just
those are staples.
Nailed. Yeah. Like they're nailed. They got a rest here and there, but even if they have a bad training day, they're just gonna start. Yeah,
you have to have those players though.
I will ask you the last question, then we'll wrap it up because we didn't talk about it. We have Vlahovic, Keane is out. We're pushing Milik out. That means you need to replace Milik. We've been linked with players who cost a lot of money to be
a
backup to Vlahovic. So what do you make of that entire situation? I'm from the opinion that if Milik stays, the club's like, cool, whatever.
Yeah.
Even though the wage is insane for him, 3.5, I think they're like, fine, we will make it work for one more year.
Yeah. I agree I think they're also fine with Milik staying. Because you saw last year, not that he was fine, but like he was professional about being a backup player. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't like moaning and pissing about being a backup, and he started a few games here and there. But and we know Vlahovic does get hurt, so there's always the opportunity. But those, I think it was Maxi Bayer and Calimuendo.
Like the links are also not number 9s, like real like Vlahovic.
Well, Calimuendo technically is.
Yeah.
Okay. I get he's a striker, but he's not a target man. I see what you're saying.
That and also like that link is maybe, but whatever. Like real like target man. They're all players who like, I can play you false nine. I can play you maybe.
I
Like it's not.
I like that for versatility. I like that for versatility because that means he thinks he has a plan B if something goes south, or if somebody like has 10 guys behind the ball.
Okay,
like a team has 10 guys behind the ball, and he's like, okay, Vlahovic, you're getting kind of suffocated in there. Let's get someone to open up this game. I'm not saying Raspadori's that guy. I'm not saying he's going to open up a game or anything, but it draws defenders out. Maybe he gets Adeyemi to run across because he's super fast. You play him in, we score, boom. Like shit like that. I think it just offers versatility and a different way of approaching a compact team because there's lots in Serie A.
It is. Yeah, it is. You know, and on Vlahovic.
The only thing is like, how do you, what money do you have?
That was the issue right now. The links are like 25, 30 million. I'm like,
yeah.
For a backup, I don't think we're in that situation that we can spend that money right now. So
yeah,
very weird links. But on Vlahovic, it's like he's gonna get injured at one point, or he's gonna get suspended, or he needs a rest. That's just football. So you need to have a backup plan B, whatever.
Absolutely, and it better not be Weah. Like you said in the
it could be. Actually could be. He is your false nine. Nine.
No, I meant a false nine as in who could actually like drop in and play well.
Oh, I thought
not
like
a fast dude
false
who could.
Nine. But,
yeah.
Who knows? I don't know. Maybe it's like Yildiz. You do that. You know, just run between the lines.
That could work.
And it because that's what he has done kind of all season when he played for us. Just play between the lines and just pop up somewhere.
That's the solution.
Could be, but you know, I will ask you that question. Then definitely wrap up Yildiz because that's now the question mark. A lot of he's gonna play a lot of games this season. Right? He is. He's gonna be quote unquote one of the main guys. He needs to be. And people are like he's not ready. I'm like, yeah, he's not ready. Like he played 8 games or something, and Allegri was like, "You're kind of playing too good. Sit on the bench." You know, that's what kind of happened at one point where Yildiz was playing good, and Allegri was like, "That's good enough. Stop."
Park it, yeah.
Just that's enough. That's enough. So yes, he was part of the first team last season, but actually he didn't play that amount of minutes where you're like, yeah, we can bank so much hope and pressure is going to be on him, you know, just by default now because he's going to play. Where is he going to play? Where do you think he's going to play?
I think like he likes to drift left. We don't really have a left winger or a left midfielder. He did that for Turkey. I think he did a pretty decent Euro to be fair. He's not playing up top. He's not playing as the attacking midfielder. So I think he's left. He's on the left.
He's on the left. Okay. Do you think he's going to start?
And I think he's going to start because, listen, every player with this kind of expectation has to have a breakout season. Like, he's going to start. And it's up to him if he's going to be that guy that's going to excel or if he's going to just not be that guy. Right? Like, what? Like, Yamin Lamel. I'm not comparing Leo Yildiz to him, but like, he had a breakout season because they started him. Like that's what you do.
Yeah, that's basically what happened. They played him. And he did what he.
Last year was not really a breakout because like Allegri, you know what I mean? Like you said, he started him. He's like, what's going on here? And then you're done.
I'm so confused. What happened there? That's still. There's no explanation. I don't know. Somebody needs to ask Allegri what kind of happened there. At one point where he was like, park it, you know, I was like, weird, but he's going to play. And it's very clear that the club is pushing that he is going to be that guy. You know, you need to do it. You need to make it work. Which is, it is what it is, you know. It's, even if it doesn't work out, you know, we didn't pay
at least you know.
Money. Like, it's not like, oh my God, we are stuck. You're not stuck. I think it's going to work out. I think he's good enough.
And he's gonna be like, you can tell he's a capable squad player too. Like he's a professional player. Like that's what it is.
He is, and also he doesn't strike me like a player who's like, I made it, here I am. Like he doesn't strike me like that type of person. Yeah, which I do like. You know, and sometimes you know it's too much, but I think that comes with playing. Like You need to play before you can kind of erase those things out of his game. But that's it, you know. So the question, ready for the season or not? Not so far. But I think that was very obvious. Let's see. Maybe when I release this, people, we have signed Todibo, but we kind of knew that was happening.
Yeah.
But the setup is made. It's set up. You know, it's Todibo, Koopmeiners, and a winger. That's the plan. And then whatever happens, sales, maybe a backup player here and there. That's for the end of the summer. Probably players where you're like, ugh, Berardi. Really? It's going to be those type of players, you know.
Hell yeah.
It is what it is, I guess. But that's it. Episode 3. The next podcast is going to be predictions. Predictions /
even if we have played
3 games. Yeah, we did it last season as well. Because
That's right.
I wanted to do it after
the window shots,
and there's also international break, so we have 3 games. Kind of helps, you know, for a prediction. So I think it's fair. So the next podcast is not going to be August, but it's going to be the first week of September or something. So almost a month. So keep that in mind, people. Julian, thanks for
no problem, buddy.
Joining. People were waiting. So once a month, people. Once a month. Once a month. But yeah, people, that's it for this one. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will speak to you guys later tonight. Ciao.
Peace out.